Well, we're also joined by Giorgio Cafiero, who's the founder and CEO of Gulf State Analytics. That's a geopolitical risk consultancy focusing on the Middle East. Welcome to you, Giorgio. What do you make of this visit by Xi Jinping to Saudi Arabia?
Well, it really underscores how the relationship between Saudi Arabia and China is extremely important to both Riyadh and Beijing. For many years, this is a partnership that has been becoming increasingly important with every day that goes by. At this point, the Saudis are obviously trying to navigate an increasingly complicated and multipolar world. Riyadh has lost a lot of confidence in Washington, and the Saudis have definitely, for a number of years been looking east. And China is definitely the most important country when it comes to Saudi Arabia's geoeconomic and geopolitical pivot east. This is President Xi's first visit to the kingdom since 2016. I think this is very historic, and this is a real milestone in the relationship between the kingdom and China.
And why now? Why is this trip taking place now by Xi Jinping? We know domestically, of course, there's been a huge change in their COVID policies and reopening in the country. But why now? Why now visiting Saudi Arabia?
Well, the timing is significant for a number of reasons. I think from the Saudi side, this visit by the Chinese leader gives Mohammed bin Salman an opportunity to make it clear that his, independence and his country's independence as a powerful and influential country is continuing to grow. And this sends a message to Washington that Riyadh is not taking orders from the United States or any other Western country. Saudi Arabia is going to pursue its own relationships with powerful countries in ways that the kingdom believes best serve Saudi interests. There's no doubt about the fact that the Biden administration has focused heavily on great power competition. And like the Trump administration, the current White House has serious concerns about China's growing influence in the Middle East. I think the Saudis are definitely using this visit as an opportunity to perhaps gain some greater leverage when it comes to difficult relations with the Americans.
And Giorgio, just to speak a bit specifically about Saudi Arabia, I was in Riyadh myself just last week. It really feels like this is a new era for Saudi Arabia. How confident is Riyadh right now?
Well, it's a great question. There's a huge transformation taking place in Saudi Arabia right now. The stakes are very high for Mohammed bin Salman and the Saudi state when it comes to the agenda behind Vision 2030. I think obviously China has a huge role to play in Vision 2030 when it comes to investment, transformation of the Saudi economy. Also, when we're talking about the future of tourism in Saudi Arabia, international tourism in Saudi Arabia, Chinese visitors will be important. So I think that having a stronger relationship with China is important to Mohammed bin Salman's sense of confidence. It is really difficult to emphasize how important and how critical both China and Saudi Arabia are to each other. To get to your question about the level of confidence on the part of Mohammed bin Salman, obviously the whole situation surrounding the Jamal Khashoggi murder resulted in him being relatively isolated on the international stage, mainly from Western governments. But we've had many Western leaders visiting Mohammed bin Salman in the kingdom or hosting him in, Greece and France. That has all contributed to his confidence that he is moving past that episode. And I think having President Xi come into the kingdom is going to further add to his sense of confidence.
Indeed. Giorgio Cafiero, fantastic to speak to you as always. Always enjoy your analysis. Thank you.